to another edition of Neighbor Watch. I'm Matt.
And I'm Pat. Welcome.
I'm Abe.
Brett. All right, guys, we got a special guest. Pat is going to introduce this special guest. We're back in format because with guests, it's safer when we are on the Zoom. So, Pat, take it away.
Absolutely. Guys, tonight we're going to talk about the San Ramon Valley Run for Education, which has been going on for several years here. Our special guest is Winton Jew. A little bit about Winton. He is the San Ramon Valley Education Foundation Board of Directors since 2017. He's the race course director since 2017. He designed the course last year if you ran it. Bay Area native, born and grew up in San Francisco and has lived all over the Bay Area. Winton has a BA from UC Berkeley with a BA in Political Economy of Industrial Societies, also an MBA from Golden Gate University. Quite impressive. Working in high-tech sales in Silicon Valley for over 2 decades as a major and global account manager for several companies like Novell, Symantec, EMC, Aruba HPE, and he's currently at Palo Alto Networks. Living in San Ramon since 2005 with wife Trang and 2 daughters, Kayla, who's 15, Cassie is 13. Both attend San Ramon schools. Activities. The guy loves to run. You can see that by his medals in the background. He's completed 18 marathons, including World Marathon Majors 6-star finisher, Boston 2 times, New York, Chicago, Berlin, Tokyo, London. He's done a 24-hour ultra marathon, which is quite a feat. Interesting points. He was supposed to run the Great Wall Marathon in China this past May, but that got shut down by the COVID pandemic. He loves to travel. And when you love to run, travel is a good thing because you can run many places. His bucket list is still the Great Wall Marathon, the Athens Marathon, Ironman, and he actually wants to run the 7 continents, which is a feat that I know a few
marathons, or just run. I mean, Antarctica, like a marathon.
Or maybe just to visit and to walk around. That count as well.
Well, we welcome you, Winton. We're going to talk
Welcome,
about
Winton.
the event here a little bit. So I don't know, why don't you give us a little background on the race itself and your involvement beyond what we mentioned here?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for the platform, first of all, and having me on board here. The Run for Education has been going on in San Ramon we're going on 37 years. This is our 37th year, and every year this is a community event where we use this as the primary fundraising mechanism for a lot of the affiliates. We augment a lot of the funds there. And so it's an important event. We connect the school districts, all of the affiliate schools with the community. So it's really become a huge community event every October, every fall here in San Ramon. Last year was the first year that we moved the course, like you mentioned, to end up at the new city center, which is really an amazing crown jewel of San Ramon with city center being there. And this year, unfortunately, we were looking forward to a nice big event, but with everything happening with the pandemic, we actually had to pivot and change the format. So we're changing it to what we're calling a virtual race. So what is a virtual race? Basically, a virtual race is one where the runners could do anything at their own leisure. Wherever they are at, they could run a 1K, a 5K, a 10K at any given time during the period of September 12th to October 11th. And honor system is out there. Get out there, have some fun, and we're still raising money for the schools.
Great.
As we were lucky enough to MC last year's race, which was an incredible experience, and you've only done 18 more marathons than I have. So the question I have, so it goes from September to October. Are you still going to have like virtual winners? And, a lot of people go and try to get medals. And how does that work?
Yeah, well, for the registration, what we're looking for is when you register, you get a Buff War t-shirt. So a buff could be used for like a makeshift mask. So you see a lot of people doing it. So it's very relevant
Yes.
today.
Oh
Just
my.
like that, exactly like that. And so what we could do is if people want to want to sync to their running apps or even just a stopwatch just to record your own time, upload it to our site after the race, and we could actually print off a certificate with your finishing time. So it's a kind of a virtual award this year.
Okay. How many participants last year?
We average about 6 to 7,000 every year.
Wow.
Yeah, and so with the change in format this year, we had to obviously pivot and change our target. So our target this year is about 2,500 people.
Okay. And then how does that translate into donations? Is there a goal from a donations perspective that you've set?
So again, this is going into uncharted territory this year. So what we're doing is the registration is $25 for each runner. So because this is affiliated with the schools, there should be an association with the students or family members that are part of that school when they register. 40% of each of the registration fees will go back to that individual schools that they designate when they're registering. Also, we've added another component, which is a little bit different and actually may actually increase some donations where individuals could set up their own fundraising page. So you see a lot of races doing this when they're raising money for different charities. That you set up a fundraising page, you send that link and any kind of PR correspondence out to your friends, your family, and whatever donations come through that fundraising effort for that individual, that student at that school, 70% of those proceeds from that fundraising effort will go back to that individual school. So we don't know what the target is going to be, but this is a novel way to kind of shift that fundraising effort to a virtual fundraising campaign where people could do it, just do their own fundraising.
What my coming from my own shoes and house, what do you say to someone that they've been inside a while, like a lot of us have been, and just how do you start? How do you start running?
Yeah, because
You
great,
ran
great question.
years ago or something like that, and it's kind of been sitting around for a while. So what do you do?
Yes. So a race of this caliber, it's considered to be a fun run. So basically, you just get off your couch and start, right? It's easier said than done. So the distance is only a 1K for mini run, a 5K, 10K. We actually encourage people to just create their own distance. If you want to run 2 miles, go for it. If you want to run 1 mile, feel free. If you're adventurous, set yourself up for 13.1 of a half marathon out there. So then basically work backwards and put together your training plan. If you're doing a 5K, you should be just running out there maybe 1 mile every other day. That will not kill anybody, right? You're out there, you could walk 15 minutes, 20 minutes, complete 1 mile, and you build up over time. Every other day, increase those miles, and our race is October 11th, so there's still a little over a month left in terms of training. You'll get there. The challenge the last couple of weeks, the fires, there's a lot of smoke in the air, right? A lot of smoke in San Ramon. So I don't advise and I don't recommend anybody going out there to run outside because you'll probably do more damage by huffing and puffing and breathing in all that carcinogen.
Sure.
So if you can, I'm fortunate enough in my gym here, I could run on my treadmill or do some miles on the elliptical just to keep the heart going. So I would say if you're inside the house, just do some cardio, some jumping jacks, some light exercise just to get it going every day or every other day. In a couple of weeks, the smoke will be cleared. We'll be able to get out again.
I think that's a great point. And at the beginning of all this shutdown, I noticed, I think a lot of us noticed a lot of people outdoors walking anyway because gyms were closed. I noticed more runners. If people have been doing that all summer, this is a great way to maybe check their own progress of what they think they can and can't run. Have you been a member? Have you done a virtual run yet? Or is this your first one that you'll be participating in?
Wow, funny you should say that because when COVID first hit, it was early March when shelter in place was put in place. One of the races that I was signed up for, one of my favorites, is a local race. It was the Livermore Half Marathon.
Oh yeah.
The Livermore Half Marathon is scheduled in March.
Mm-hmm.
So up to that point, it was touch and go whether or not that race was going to go off. At the final minutes, the race coordinator sent out an announcement that coming weekend, the race was going to be canceled or rescheduled. Then they pivoted, changed it to a virtual run. So my wife and I actually, we just were signed up for that half marathon, and we went out and did our own. And so it was encouraged. So then people started posting pictures. So then it took on a life of its own in terms of these virtual races. People are posting how they were accomplishing it, whether or not they ran a full distance, any kind of race, a 5K, 10K, or a half marathon, or did they break it up in terms of doing it over 2 days or over 5 days? And did they do it inside on a treadmill, or did they do it around their neighborhood or some other location? And it was really kind of cool to see all the people posting on social media different ways of completing a virtual race.
That's
So that
right.
brings a question. Does the organizer have a plan for people to hashtag like virtual run for education so you can get this collage of pictures?
Yes, we have a social media team that basically they're very creative. So there's going to be all kinds of things that are going to be coming out. Check your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, different feeds. We're going to be encouraging our project manager and the team. They're creating a lot of different types of different promos, and it's going to be fun. We're going to try to make this a blast.
Where can they sign up?
You can sign up on our website, srvef.org.
Mm-hmm.
And on that link, there's a registration site to sign up for the race.
Is there a deadline?
What are the important dates? Like
Headlines.
The race itself was supposed to be scheduled on October 11th, but because this is a virtual race, we want individuals, the runners who are registered, to complete that the distance that they choose between September 12th and October 11th.
Okay.
So it's about a month for them to complete any kind of distance that they choose. So with the registration, again, they get a T-shirt and a buff, and they'll get all kinds of different types of promo activities coming their way.
Are we talking cotton tees or the good dry fit tees that we like to work out in?
I was thinking, what kind of buff?
I'm not sure, but we'll find out.
I'm just joking.
I'm inspired. I think, Brett, I think you're going to run for the Neighborhood Watch, and we'll put all of our donation power behind you.
Well,
No, I was thinking.
How about we make it a sort of a relay, and we all go like a.
Oh, there we go.
I like that idea, and I think we should film this and then put it on as capture this. So
I was as skinny as Winton before COVID, and then the shutdown hit. I didn't run.
I have a question. What is, Winton, your best marathon time, and Pat, what is your best marathon time? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry, Pat.
No, go ahead, Winton.
Well, for me, I started later in terms of running marathons, and so I wasn't going for the time as much as the experience.
Finish.
I go for destination runs. You can see all the different destinations. I love running around the city and seeing 26.2 miles, a full marathon in the city. I saw all of New York in 26.2. I did Chicago. I did Washington, D.C., Tokyo, Berlin, Boston. And that's what gets me going. That's the motivation.
Yeah.
So again, going back to the virtual run, it doesn't need to be timed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time, have fun, go out with friends, family, or social distancing, of course, and just get it done. Have some fun out there.
Yeah.
And you have a Facebook page?
We do have a Facebook page for SRVEF, Sacramento Valley Education Foundation.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Winton, I'd love to talk to you sometime about your races and compare notes on some of the places we've run the same and just see what you liked and remembered and all that. But we'll do that another time.
Absolutely. I have a goal to get all four of you guys out running with me someday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it together.
I was running the other day, actually. I went out for a run and I was coming back, and it was actually good that I did this because I see Matt's dog running down the street, running away from me, but I was able to corral it and get it kind of back home. So other than that, they would have had a lost dog.
Yeah. So thank
What
God
about
he
you?
was
By
preparing for
coyotes?
this. He was preparing for the run.
My dog going down the street, he'll come back. Just let him go.
Yeah.
Post pictures of your dogs, running with your dogs. We welcome all of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Brett, did you have something before we wrap up that you wanted to share about a different event?
An advertisement for our sponsor.
Yep. Yep. The sponsor for tonight.
We're gonna put the little brochure up. But
Yep. I got the brochure.
So one of our local, extremely, help me out, Matt. Good guy.
Yeah. Extremely good guy.
Talented.
Yeah. He's talented. He's
Talented.
reliable.
Anyway, so my son has an event in sound audio business and DJ events, stuff like that. He has projectors, he has screens, and he has popcorn machines, and he has sound. He'll come set it up in your backyard. Anyway, Matt's going to show the little brochure. And sorry, I was ready.
It's pretty cool in this time, guys, with the COVID. We had the TV in my backyard that Brett's son let us borrow, and it's just
this is like almost like but the difference and that screen, that TV was cool. You can do the TV.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like the same idea, but you can go watch Under the Stars and have like a
Movie night.
movie night, and it's really cool.
And some semi-blue skies.
Yep.
So, any rate, Matt will put that up. We'll
show that up. Well, Winton, thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
joining.
much.
We will get this out there tomorrow morning and then get the word out. We'll send you the link so you guys can put this and advertise. And again, one more time, where can people go to register?
srveaf.org. srevef.org.
There you go.
Great. Thank you.
Guys. Thank you very much.
You got it. Thanks.
We're back at the finish line.
Let's go start training.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Play the Chariots of Fire music, Matt.
Yep, that will be the intro.
Get the whole family out there running.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, fellas.
Thank you, Winton.
I'm going.